All right then. Okay, so we found KC back again. He just got lost around the corner there from the assembly line. So, um, it's a good
Yeah,
thing too, KC, because otherwise, like, you would have gone right to the bottom of the pit there. And sorry, but we're not going back for you a second time. That's just the way it is.
that's okay. I only have one rope anyway, so my rope
Ah,
is
that's handy.
small.
Yeah, yeah. Well, use it sparingly now because, like, we're not even remotely joking with
Ooh,
that.
shiny. Can I push it?
Yeah, all the lights and buttons are really inconsistent in this game. Where like some of the lights, some of the buttons look like lights and vice versa, and sometimes
Yeah,
it's really hard to tell what's actually
Yeah.
clickable and not. It's like just basically when the plot demands it, it's clickable. You know?
yeah. That's. Uh,
The more I'm looking through this, the more I'm thinking, like, how many times did we think, right, we've beat, we're around the last quarter now, lads.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And it just keeps going.
That's just this game in a nutshell, really, isn't it? Like compared to Half-Life itself, like this whole section, I don't even know if it's in the original game or not, or is it just like a 5 minute like little sprint up the
It's
road?
a 5 minute thing. This is for the remaster. This is, hey, you've invested in our Kickstarter. We're gonna
Yeah,
give you we're gonna give you
A reward.
all the
yeah.
everything.
And look, I don't mind that to a certain degree. Like I think it's like it's showing that like they're being a bit they're putting their own like little creative spin on the game. So I mean, props to them for that, I suppose. But yeah, it definitely feels like they're like okay, this section will seem to be really climatic and frantic. Now it has to be the end. Nope, no, there's
Yeah.
still more of it. God damn it.
It's like the more the
But like
fun in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
we are looking at the final product here, not the like you waited a year for this section to come
Hmm.
out.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Like it's different if you were getting this piecemeal like it would have been a couple of years ago. You're probably
Yeah,
gagging to get more of the same, you know.
yeah.
Also, that was bad. Don't jump into the lasers. Bad for you.
Always jump in the lasers.
I
No,
learned
no,
it by watching you.
what if Gordon Freeman jumped into a pile of lasers? You did the same, would you? Typical. But yeah, yeah. I suppose like if it's different when you're actually are like if you're only getting it like level by level.
Yeah, yeah, and you have to wait rather than, you know.
I don't think I've ever had patience to wait something like that long.
Yeah. If I'm right in saying, I think I said at the in the last
Did I? Did
few
I? Did
videos,
I?
5 year wait for the Zen area for the Zen levels, which is a pretty fucking massive wait. Like,
That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's
but obviously, I think they had like placeholder levels done, but in order to actually give a full fleshed out area level, I think yeah, there's about a 3 or 4 year wait for it.
And like I'd say, imagine not blue balling, but imagine the like if you were stuck at right, I've just killed testicle spider. Now to wait 3 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But fair, like I said, I would assume that there would have been a basic redo of the original Zen level from Half-Life, and then you get the fully fleshed one at a later point, saying, okay, like at some point we'll be able to update this with the full Zen level we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now, here's a fucker of a section here, right? So, yeah, so what we're doing here, this is like a kind of like I suppose like this is the kind of level that they're like equivalent of a QA, but it's obviously something like they're screening for foreign contaminants. So first of all, you have to get off this on this platform before you get crushed, and then you're going to have to get laser shot at you from different directions. So you basically just have to stay on the right platforms and get back onto the original one in time before everything goes fucking mental on you.
Oh Christ.
Yeah, yeah. It's a real fucking. It's a good reactions test, but my god, is it fucking. Is it painful in some places?
Yeah.
oh god.
Now, what I am relieved to in the fact that well, outside of the crushing, the lasers aren't instant death. So if you're fully healed like I am, you could have taken a hit for being a bit too fast or too slow on one of the runs. Or even something like this, for example, where you can't see the laser behind you, so you're just
Oh,
Oh
basically
no.
guessing based on where the front one is.
Yeah, you're just basically staying like stay as close to the one in front as you can. the whole way.
Or even just staying just giving enough leeway to do not bashing into the front one, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously, yeah, when you see an obvious prompt to move, you take it because otherwise it was going to end in lasers.
Lasers are bad. Okay.
That's a spine, lads. I don't know what anyone else says. That is a spine that we were just at.
Yep. This is a creature.
Yeah.
This is Jabu Jabu's Betty 2.0. I know we said that before in the last vid, but it's still relevant.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be a pretty fucking big Jabu for it to be the case, but yeah, I totally believe it. Now you got the fun guns.
The wool and guns.
Now, in case you're wondering where these what these boxes are actually containing, there's your answer. They actually contain monsters.
Jesus.
Fresh out the box monsters, with no armor put on or anything like that. They are literally just freshly hatched, goons, essentially.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So this part is particularly interesting because obviously the kind of the T cells that are flying around there. Basically, you want to do two things. One is obviously kill them off immediately, but what they will do is they will take take those pods there and break them open just so you can have more enemies on the field. That also works both ways because you don't want to accidentally open them yourself, like I just did there to prove a point.
Why are they easy? Why are they tough to kill whenever they don't have armor on yet?
I mean, they're still bulky enough. If you're comparing them to the guys with the kind of scorpion guns and the armor, they take a good couple of barrels to kill off. You know, the nuclear gun is obviously very overpowered against these aliens, but you'd be expecting that. You know, it's kind of this is why they've given you these guns right at the end. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's having to manage both the orbs flying around and not breaking open the canisters yourself by accident makes this part particularly tricky. And then also not wasting all the nuclear ammo straight away, because you're gonna fucking need it for this next section. As you can see, the soundtrack has kind of moved away from the Mike Shinoda phase of Linkin Park to just soundscapes that you get on YouTube.
I've actually turned off the sound of it.
Yeah, well, you'll hear it back in the edits.
Yeah, grand.
In fact, I do think the soundtrack has been a really nice addition. You know, it's actually it really kind of it actually kind of perks you a little bit when you realize, okay, this scene is actually kind of important. I'll pay attention.
Yeah, I do get that, but I will say the Mike Shinoda entry is it is just so different.
It's jarring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed, but
you enjoy it, but when it starts off at volume 10, that's when you get it's taking the piss a bit. So in case you're wondering what's going on here, so basically we can't go any further because the barriers are up, and those barriers are they'll sting us essentially if we go near them, or at least the red one will. So what we have to do here is try and find a way to break the barrier, and I think it should come up momentarily what the problem is, but I was there trying to follow the wires thinking there's something to plug out, but fortunately not the case. And then I was thinking, okay, have you given me a really finicky platform to land on to get across? But also not the case. And quite upsettingly, crowbar was not the right answer. which I
I was
think is
kind of
just
hoping it would be, you know.
yeah.
In general, given how much of a meme the crowbar has been, like going into this game, I knew nothing apart from, oh yeah, that's the game of the crowbar.
Hmm.
Like, crowbar has not been the one-hit kill weapon it should be.
Well, I mean, it does still kill off most if you get up in their grill, most soldiers go down with 3 or 4 shots, and most of the aliens are killed off with a couple of shots too. The head crabs are one-hit kills, so are the little termites that bite you as well. So the crowbar is in of itself very overpowered. But then again, if you think about it, every melee weapon in a shooter like this is technically overpowered. Like if you remember Duke Nukem, the most effective weapon is your boot, because you can run out of ammo. You know what I mean? You still have to aim a gun, whereas your boot is you can hold down the button and you can just keep kicking perpetually, and you might actually get somewhere with that. So there's the problem right there. But the problem is I keep getting stuck on the conveyor belt.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, damn Skippy. And now exciting enough, we're getting a recharge while on the conveyor belt.
Oh.
So now you just get the same level again, but on steroids. So see, you get the unlimited ammo. Yeah, you're damn right. I'm fucking bursting all these canisters. Yeah. I'm giving my capture card a challenge.
Actually, did the system struggle with this at all?
A little bit in places. I think we had that for the first hour, the last hour or so. We had the audio fuck up, which was obviously misdiagnosed because it actually didn't even happen. It wasn't actually the case in the game itself. The audio was coming across fine, but it just captured incorrectly. But in terms of actually certain levels, yeah, there's the level we're just on now. It was wheezing quite significantly, and for the final battle, it struggled a little bit as well. More on that in a couple of moments. To stay tuned, as the kids say.
Oh, boo. That is a cheap. That's a cheap way to die, villain.
He did. That was a proper pounce. I got yeeted off the fucking sequence.
Hold on, is that pounce or is it trounce? When you get,
I would call that if we're using wrestling language, KC, that's a Monty Brown pounce. Pounce.
Oh,
That was a proper get the fuck off this track.
Yeah. Callum Black. Special.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. I just didn't look at him in particular, so I just killed him. Anyway, moving on.
That's cool, you know.
Yeah.
At least he's not a meat shield.
That's true. In fairness, they are literal meat shields.
Sure, I kill a couple of 100 meat shields and you act like I'm a bad guy. Meanwhile, this.
Yeah, the guards aren't fucking mass produced. They've got fucking wives and children, you asshole. You've literally seen the production line. You know these are artificially made.
That makes them less alive?
Northern Ireland.
Hang on, this is not a fucking ethical debate now, alright? This is... You're muddying the waters here, James, right? That's what you're doing here now. You're conflating the debate with needless whataboutism, you know?
26 is not equal to 32.
Yeah, you're dead right, Casey. That's some great Orwellian maths right there.
Actually, as an engineer, I think it's seen the greatest thing ever. 1 + 1 is 2, but the engineer will say, for safety, let's make it 3. And I'm just like, that. Oh yeah, no, we do do that when we're
Very good.
designing shit just for safety. We always go up.
Well,
So
look, you need redundancies. You know, you need
Absolutely.
backups there just in case. You know. Okay. A bit of peace and quiet before we everything dies again.
yep. What the?
Yeah, this is a fun bit. This is what we call the yeeting chamber.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Because we remember the launch pads from the last few areas. Yeah,
Yep.
these ones are actually working launch pads. They're on the clock.
Oh.
Yes. So again, you notice that like the whole, especially for the last while, like everything has been moving upwards,
Yeah.
up out of this whatever kind of like sanctum we're in. So yeah, so now we're at a case now where we're like rapidly moving upwards now with the launch pads. Like again, it is a kind of weird thing where this part this I suppose like factory I guess has its own unique alien logic to it. You know, like there you go. Now, wouldn't the world be a better place if we all were able to operate, all able to get to work with something like that?
Yeah.
I'd still demand remote work.
Well, I wouldn't trust me with machines,
Commute is still too long.
Yeah. Well, that's if he's ever asked, you can say now that you shared a shower with a vertigon. And yes, you do feel dirtier as a result.
I don't know. Main thing is I didn't drop the soap.
In fairness, there is no soap to drop, so it worked out quite well. This was a bit of a head melt, making sure you're on the right platform, but we got there in the end.
God damn.
Again, shockingly enough, the correct answer to most things was just follow the right path. I know, it was a shock to us all. Ooh, look at that frame rate drop. I forgot about this bit.
Oh god, this is painful.
Yeah, we went into a bit of we went into aha mode there for a second. That was great.
Take on me. Take. Wait,
Yeah,
yes,
no, you're correct. Now this, yeah, and there we go.
Oh,
A very
no.
obvious kill zone area.
When the door shuts down and
Yeah.
well,
Behind you, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
queue up Mike Shinoda.
Much not denied. There's no soundtrack to this area. This is just an ambush. Motherfuckers. Yeah.
That's a bit cheeky now.
That was a bit unfair. Now I think that was a little bit harsh.
Yeah, you know, if we're gonna kill you, want some tunes to die to, please and thank you.
Yes, you're dead right. Yeah, so there's so this is introducing the I suppose the evolved T cell form. So these ones have a little bit of a gimmick to them, but they're not like terrifically complicated.
Got like a force field around them.
No, so what you see there, if you have a look at them when they're floating around like that, there's like a tether of electricity to them.
Yeah.
So what's happening there is they're basically connected to like one of those kind of like nodes.
Yeah.
So once you take out the nodes, they become vulnerable, and then you get killed. So
well,
this is basically the gimmick for the next few for this next level is basically you have to kill off a couple of these guys, and then work your way up.